John in a long time. He's getting on right now, I think. There he goes. John is. Do you remember John, Laura, from back in SSIC? I don't know, Chris. Do you ever go to the SSIC meetings?
I'm a member of every dang on place in America. Every one of them.
It's been a while.
Well, the United States, that is.
Right. Hey, John, you out there, buddy?
I know I'll remember if I see a face.
Yeah, once you see him, I'm sure you'll remember.
Yeah, the name's familiar. I just can't picture the face.
Yeah. Hey, John, you are mute and no video coming through yet. If you can hear us, I don't know if you can hear video coming through yet.
He's muted too, huh?
Yeah, I think so. That's right. Sorry.
I'm sharing this out on my Periscope.
Periscope?
So we're live on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and I was going to be on LinkedIn, but they've been hating on me on that. They say you have to be authorized to stream live on LinkedIn.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Authorized?
Yeah, they have to give you the permission to say that, you're one of the cool fellows, and we're going to add you in.
Right. That's the key right there.
They want to make sure you're really about that life.
Right. They vet you. They vet you to make sure you're one of the cool kids.
I know, that's right. Yeah, they don't want the wrong people in there, I guess. I don't know.
Not letting the stragglers in.
That's how they try to do. So,
right.
Yeah, let's see here. Are saying that he has the face you can't remember. What are they talking about? Michael Cecilia says, are saying he has a face you can't remember. Oh, I guess he's talking about something you said.
Mike, man, what you doing? You should be on the call, buddy. What are you doing out there popping off comments like that?
Making jokes for you. So anybody who do want to join in, there is a link in the description. You can join in on the Zoom call. You just click that link. If you have any problem, just shoot me a message on Messenger or Rich, and he'll get you the link. Make sure you get in if it's not working right, because you never know with technology, right, Rich?
That's right. You never know. You never know. And if we miss it, we apologize. It's not on purpose. We'll try to get you in, because the more the merrier.
That's right. So how does this go? So you do one every week, and just every week at the evening like this, or how often do you do these, Rich?
Yeah, we're doing these every 2 weeks. So every two. So we'll do today, and then the 28th will be the next one, and we'll keep doing every 2 weeks. I may come September. I'm being honest. I'm giving you a forewarning. September, I may have to do a stutter, or I skip 2 weeks and then start doing them every other week again, because I looked at the calendar and she's not in the room, so I can say this now. But one of those Tuesdays falls on my wife's birthday, so I'm probably gonna have to take her to dinner or something. So I probably won't be able to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you already did the math on it. Wait a minute, It won't be this day.
Exactly. I'm like, boom, 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 check. Oh, September. Oh, dang it.
Wow.
We'll do those, and then of course, we've got the regular Hootie's House Buyers Club meeting first Tuesday of every month.
I know that's right.
I had to go face to face next month, but I don't know.
So when we do it live, we're gonna do it at the Hootie's downtown Keener Plaza, huh?
Yeah, Hooters downtown Keener Plaza, St. Louis. If people are in town from not from St. Louis, they're more than welcome to stop in. I got this one investor from Atlanta. He comes to town because he's got family in St. Louis, and he comes into town every once in a while, and he's like, I'm gonna try to make it scheduled where I can get in there on a first Tuesday of the month and come in and have lunch with you guys. It's like, please do.
I know that's right.
Bobby Blue coming in.
And Michael says, "What's up, my friends?"
Bobby Blue is in. I remember Bobby Blue in his wintertime picture.
Bobby Blue. Yeah, I don't see him. Where is he at?
He's coming. Look on the Zoom.
I don't see him.
You see him yet? Oh, you might have one of your settings might be hide people that aren't sharing the video, maybe, or not. I don't know.
Yeah. Once he turns his camera on, there he is. Boom.
There's
Bobby Blue. What it do?
I remember Bobby Blue. You're on mute, buddy. You're on mute.
How you doing?
Not bad. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm good.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. I remembered your great wintertime picture there before you come on your video.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Wintertime, huh? You don't like the summer?
Nah, I just never changed the picture.
Gotta have a seasonal, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Need one with you at the beach with a Corona in your hand.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Don't do that. So yeah, that's cool. And so what are you working on, Bobby? Working on some good deals or what?
I'm trying. I'm new, learning, trying to get a system going.
So you started marketing and stuff, or?
Yeah, I try to do the SMS thing. I'm not having great success at this moment. So
What are you using?
using Lead Genie.
Lead Genie? Is anybody else using that one?
A few people, not a lot.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't mean like, hey, are you the only one using that one? No, I didn't mean that. I meant anybody on the call. I'm sorry. Anybody know about that?
So you're saying you're having trouble with it. What kind of feedback have you been getting from the people you've been texting so far?
But in general, no, don't call me no more, all that stuff. I'm just trying to figure out the kinks and where to exactly market. What's a good market?
What kind of list is that you're hitting?
I was using Thai landlords, out of state owners and stuff like that.
Okay, tired landlords. How we know if they tired or not? Evidently, if they say no, they ain't tired yet.
Exactly.
I know that's right. So when you send them a message, what are you just saying? Something generic like, hey, yeah, I want to buy your house? Or what are you getting specific with addresses and stuff? Or
I'd use the the normal good morning, their name, and ask them, who I am, and tell them if they still interested in selling their property, and put the address if they're not out of state owner.
and so majority of people just text back and say, leave me alone or what?
Yeah, take me off, don't call me. And then one time I had a couple of people say, call me, and I call them back, they go, never mind.
What?
What was the, just asking, what was the lead time like between they sent you the message and you actually called them? I'm just curious.
It was like an hour.
Oh, okay. I mean, it wasn't.
It's actually too long. When somebody texts, you only got their attention for about 10 minutes. When they text back, say they ready to go, you got about a 10-minute window.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing about
it. I put down my phone, didn't check it. Then I noticed, I said, okay, let me call them. They go, never mind. I was like, never mind.
I know, that's the case. I mean, we're not all the time glued to our phones, right? We can't, even if I just if I send a message to Chris, yeah, he's good at getting back to me right away, and Laura, but what if they're sitting, what they stepped out for dinner or lunch or something, life happens, right? So I'm not expecting them to grab their phone real quick and send me a message right back. So, but yeah, I mean, at least you followed up. So there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't even follow up, right? I can't. Yeah, go ahead, Laura. Sorry.
I was going to say, the way I look at those types of things, if they happen is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So if you call them back an hour later, if they were the right person and they were motivated as they should be, then they'd still be ready to do business with you in an hour. I agree. It's great to get them right away if you can, but I wouldn't lose sleep over, I wouldn't think that hour is what makes the actual difference. You know what I mean? No. I don't think that is the crux of it right there. Get back to them as soon as you can, but if you can't get back to them for, within the first 10 minutes, again, if they're properly motivated, they're still going to talk to you later. So that's my opinion.
That's a good point.
Yeah, great point. And in fact, that's why I asked the question to begin with. Are they even tired? We saying in our mind, tired landlord, but are they a tired landlord?
Hoping and guessing that you hit the right one.
And there's a difference.
Exactly.
There's a difference between a tired landlord and an exhausted landlord, right?
Exactly.
So we're looking for those exhausted landlords.
Right, because we really don't have any other evidence other than absentee owner and they live out of state. They might love that property. That property might cash flow better than every other deal they ever had in life. And you trying to buy it? Hell no, I ain't selling my house.
That's right.
So that's why I asked that question to begin with. Are they even tired? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that because I have bought deals from absentee owner lists and stuff like that. That's not a problem. However, think about it like this. Everybody hitting them up. That's why they're tired of hearing from your text, tired of hearing from your call, tired of hearing from all you investors hitting me up, trying to buy my house. I ain't selling. Leave me alone.
True.
When they tell me I said leave me alone, so thank you for your time and keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, you even send something back? You nicer than me. I leave them alone, put them on the do not call, keep it moving. Well, I mean, you paying for that text, right? I ain't finna have no long conversation. Paying to be nice. I'm done. Deuces.
True.
Yeah, one of the things I always try to mention if I talk to someone that they like their property and all that. Tired landlord that's not tired. I'll just say like, hey, do you have anything in your portfolio that's a real headache right now? You got to ask, if you have them on the phone or on the line, ask them a couple more questions. Well, do you know any other landlords that are just kind of having any problems with any certain property? I love to solve problems. I love to buy properties people don't really want, that type of thing. And it's like, since they're not already thinking that way, they may only be thinking about the property you messaged them about. But if you open up their mind, choose something else. Oh, my sister-in-law, she tried to do this. She doesn't enjoy it. She's got to. Stuff like that. You never know what you can get out of those. When you got them on the phone, always ask another question. I know Chris does it too. When I watch him do his calls, he's always asking about other properties. So another thing to definitely try to get through on the phone. I get leads that way, honestly. It's not like every time, but 1 out of 50, 2 out of 50, I don't know.
All it takes is one yes every once in a while and boost you back up.
You're already on the phone with them. You might as well ask.
Yeah. Yeah. In addition to that, always ask, sometimes we come across properties that may not fit for us. Are you looking to buy other properties in the area as well? If they love that property, they might become a buyer for you. They might be ready to go and, actually come on and buy the house and, be on your buyers list. They might be your best buyer and don't even know it.
True that. That's very true.
That's
we
right.
got Miss Melendez on the call. She's connecting her audio. She probably can't hear me yet.
Yep, Miss Ayla. All right, so we got that, and but those text messages. A lot of people trying to do more and more text now. I mean, I think they work. I just don't like to make it a crutch of like dependent on them to do this on the text. I want to touch them wherever way I can get them. Text them, call them, voicemail, ringless voicemail, whatever you want to call it. Ringless voicemail drops. I just need a response because that's the biggest thing. Even if they say, leave me alone, at least I know I can leave them alone, get them off the list. I don't have to keep calling them, keep texting them, keep asking them, do you want to sell?
True. Very true.
But an answer is better than no answer at all, because now when you don't have any answer and you've called 3 or 4 numbers off of one person, you know what they want to do, if they really want to sell or what their situation is. We didn't get to dig and ask those questions like Laura was just saying, or, turn them into a buyer. You think that's all works together the same, Rich?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Yeah, you got to get a hold of them some way, right? And the great thing is, and nowadays with the technology we have, there's so many different ways to get a hold of somebody. So why not use all of them? I mean, test them all. There might be some, and the thing I was talking to you, Chris, or maybe even Laura. There might be some lists that you buy that are ripe for like a text messaging campaign or a ringless voicemail campaign, and some that aren't. I mean, if your target audience is, and I know I'm grossly overgeneralizing, but if your target audience are homeowners of 50 years or more and they're in their 70s, are you going to send out a texting campaign to that? Probably not. So yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Why would you be texting? I mean, there's some that can handle it, but you're right. Majority of them are not going to answer a text response. Got to call them. And that's what people be like, oh, I don't really want to get on the phone with them because I'm afraid.
Right. Exactly. There's John. What's going on, John? You're on mute there, buddy.
How you doing, Rich?
Not bad. Long time, man.
I know.
Yeah. I saw you when you popped up. I was like, hey, everybody, we're getting John on here. It's been forever since I've seen John.
How you been?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Doing okay.
Yeah. You still got those rentals?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. How are they doing for you?
They're all rented and no complaints so far.
Hey, that's in this day and age, that's good.
Yeah.
In these times.
How many you got, John?
4. Good talking to you, Chris. I watch your YouTube videos a lot, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anything good on there, juicy?
Yes, there is. I enjoy listening to you, especially the parts where you actually talk to the sellers themselves. So that's where I get a wealth of ideas from. So
yeah, because you never know what these sellers are gonna say, right? They throw a curveball on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So that's cool. 4 rentals. I guess this Rona hasn't messed up any of your payments or nothing, right?
No.
Oh, all right. You got lucky.
It's good. So what are you focusing on now, John? What are you doing these days?
Well, if I wasn't but right now I haven't done anything since I bought the last one, which was last year. But I mean, I'm interested in learning terms because if I wasn't, then I wouldn't be watching Chris's videos. So I want to explore that option. So I figure I better sit down and get an understanding of it and come to these moments like tonight or this evening and listen and ask questions. So.
I know that's right. Have
you
tried to pitch it to anybody or do anything with terms so far?
I have tried a few times. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not excuse my French, a good bullshitter. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what have you been saying to them?
Well, I'll ask them if they're interested in, either selling it to me as a lease option, or if they're interested in yeah, that's pretty much it. Just lease option. I haven't tried subject to or anything like that. It was always a lease option, but then my problem that I've had in the past is if I get a question and I'm stuck in a corner, I begin to ramble a lot, like what I'm doing right now. So I have to overcome that obstacle. So I better come to meetings like this and throw my cards on the table and be honest with myself and with all of you, so you guys can give me some suggestions that help me get over that little obstacle.
Yeah. So, I mean, normally I would never use those words of lease option, never use those words of subject to, never use any of those words. I would just simply ask them if there's a way we can do something more creative or something where we can actually, solve a problem here, depending on the situation. Would you be even open to that? I wouldn't use that word lease option because I don't want to go in getting it on a lease option. I really want to buy it if possible. But if you open up saying I want to do a lease, you already put yourself at a weaker position right out the gate, which I would never suggest going into a deal like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So typically, yeah, like I said, I usually just want to either, ask, would you consider selling it on a monthly payment until I pay you off in full, something like that? Or depending on how the conversation's going, would you be open to something more creative if we can work a better deal for you? Because, if you're giving them a cash deal, you're going to knock their head off. 2 cents and with two holes in the pennies. You know that when you're doing a wholesale deal, it's going to be cheap.
Right.
But we can get you a better purchase price and probably a better deal altogether if you were open to something more creative. I mean, should I proceed or should I not? That gives them a chance to say, well, I ain't never really thought about that. How will that work? Now, you can either try to pitch it yourself if you watch enough videos and stuff, have learned the technique or have been trained on it. Or you can say, well, I'll get you some more information on that. And then reach out to somebody who knows what to say to them, that know how to handle those objections. Because that's the hardest part with it in reality, is actually handling the objections. Well, what about the insurance? Well, will my bank let me do it? And will this and will that? Everybody say the same stuff. And it's really simple stuff to overcome once you understand how to overcome those objections. But if you don't know what to say, it kind of makes it kind of like, well, then you're rambling on about some junk. You know what I mean? And I don't want you in that weak position. You want to stay in a strong position.
Yeah, and at the same time, John, I think everybody starts off that way. I mean, I know first few times I pitched it, I just, I got nervous myself, and you just like the first time I tried to wholesale, I just didn't have quite the vocabulary and the confidence built up, but you just got to keep doing it. And then one day you'll do it and you'll say, oh my gosh, I can do it now. But one thing that helped me kind of talk through the pitch of creative deals was I would listen to Chris do something and I would have the language fresh in my head. And then I would literally get off his whatever I was watching, and then I'd go make the call. And I don't know, I just had a little bit of everything was a little bit fresher in my mind. The objections were a little bit fresher, what kind of questions I might hear. And it gave me that extra boost of confidence, because really, I think lots of times the people that are listening to you, they're listening to hear if you're confident in what you're doing. And if, you know, because I'll tell you what, to this day, I'll just say, if I don't know, I just say, I don't know. Let me find out. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. And people will really respect that. You know, you don't have to have all the answers. But yeah, that's what I did. So thanks, Chris, you know, for the content you put out there. And I know Chris does, I think, some coaching too for people that really want more of that hand holding. I think he's an excellent resource. But yeah, those videos, Chris, or you know, the lives you do and stuff. That's what got me into it here earlier this year, and I've done some deals that way. So it's been nice. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, because that's the
job.
thing.
Way to even doing it all. So awesome.
Yeah, that's why I say, have you even tried? You know, that's the first thing. Jump in that water and see if you can swim. You know. But the hardest thing, like I said, with those terms is just handling those objections. And it's the same ones all the time. My bank won't let me do that. And they thinking that their bank owns the house. And I have to let them know, your bank don't own your house. You own your house. The bank owns the debt. You can do whatever you want to with your house. So it just gets kind of tricky with that. Anything you want to add to that, Rich?
No, it's dead on. I mean, I think the big takeaway is taking action. You know, if you're watching the videos and you learn something, taking action. It sounds like John's taking action from what he's learned. That's all you can do is just take action. It's better do that than watch something and go, okay, let me file that in my head, and when I need it, I won't remember.
Exactly. And it does take some practice.
Yeah, taking action leads you to making more and more calls along that line. You can build your confidence, like Laura said, and that's the nonverbals people can hear over the phone. They can hear, they can't sense tone on a text message, but they can hear confidence on a call.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Another thing I've done when I've gotten nervous on a call is, my goal lots of times is to just find out if they're even open to it.
Right.
I don't need to drown them with details. In fact, I don't want to. I try to find out if they're open to it. And then where my comfort zone is I say, well, hey, now that I know that you're open to maybe, taking payments over time, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to just email you some information for you to look over. And then we can get back on the phone and I can find out what questions you have or what looks most interesting, what doesn't look interesting. And what that allows me to do is put a little space, get some formulated information out there to where I'm not having to remember every right word to say. I let them read something, and then they've got a better understanding the next time we talk as to what we're actually looking at doing. And usually once I've reread the thing that I give to them and everything, we're all more on the same page for the next phone call. So that's just my style. Some people are much happier just talking it out all the way, but I love to send some information in an email for them to look at first too.
In fact, there's a template for that in the Woke Real Estate Investing group on Facebook. On the Woke Real Estate group, there's a template inside of there that you can just copy, change, a few things like the numbers and, maybe add a sentence in regards to that situation and use that template as your multiple offer strategy right there. You just got to plug in your own numbers. So it's already set up for you to do it, and it's free. So, I always say use those free resources and, make the offer, but see what they're open to, like you say, because if you don't know they're open, what are we doing anyway? If they say, no, I want all cash and all fast, I don't want to hear nothing else. If they say that, what are we talking about?
Right. And even like Laura's talking about, giving somebody information, emailing them information and stuff, that also is a good measuring stick for somebody's motivation too. They may say, oh yeah, I'm motivated, or yeah, I really am interested in that. And they get that material or get emailed, and they may end up really not. Are they motivated to read through the material so they know what you're talking about? They don't. They weren't motivated to begin with. We're just blowing smoke at. They were just trying to be nice. I'm not going to tell this person no, I'm not interested. I'll go along with it for a little bit. But you got to make sure also that goes hand in hand with in sales sales training and sales coaching. You always try. I'm sure everybody's run into that salesperson that oversells. Right? Yeah, I'll take this. Oh, okay. And here's what it does, and here's what it does, and no, I already told you I wanted it. You don't want to oversell it, right? So you don't want to keep bombarding them with information if they're already on board with it. You just feed them those spoonfuls at a time, as long as they can keep up and get the deal done that way.
Laura, question for you. By the time you send the email out, how much time do you give the potential your prospect time to look over the material before you call them back up?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, I just usually say something on the phone like, hey, I'll email you here in the next few minutes. If say it's 6 p.m., I'll email you here in the next few minutes. Take your time, look over it, talk with blah, 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 whoever it might be. And I can call you back tomorrow, or you can always call or text me if you have any questions. I keep it really loose. I'm big on following up with people the next day or 1.5 days. I always do my follow-ups. I always like people to be able to sleep on something. You're not chasing them down. You're not hunting them down. I'm not going to call them back 2 hours later unless they want me to and say, what do you think? They could still be trying to figure out what the heck they're reading, so I give them time. I give them a day or two or whatever they say they want, so yeah.
Okay.
But not too much time. Don't wait a week. Unless they specifically tell you to. Don't wait too long.
Exactly. And so also to add to that, John, I guess we could have started with that part. The way we do it is you do an initial call first just to gather facts and information. We're not making no offers. We're not making no wild claims. And my virtual assistants do all of that. They gather all the facts, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. If we're able to work everything out, how soon would you like to close? That tells you right there their motivation level. Tell me a little bit about the house, what type of repairs you think the house needs. Would you consider taking a monthly payment until we pay you off in full? All that stuff's on the front end. Say they gave us all that information, right? Great. Now that we got all this information, what we're going to do now is run some comps or comparable home sales in the area to see what the other houses sold for recently so we can formulate you an offer. And that's when that'll get you that buffer time to send them that email. Then when you send them, and then before you send them that email, say, once I send this over to you, how long you think it'll take before you take a look at it and get back to me? See, everything we do is based on a good question. If you become a good question asker, you don't have to remember nothing. Just become a good question asker to put the pressure on them. You don't want the pressure on yourself where you're like, oh man, I gotta remember this, think of this, say this, and all this. It's too hard. You're working yourself too hard. Put that pressure on them. So once we send this over to you, how long you think it'll take before you get back to us and let us know what you think? And that'll tell you your timeline like that, like Laura just said, basically.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Cool. Nick is in the building.
Yeah, Nick's on the call there. We got Michael finally showed up. I
Hey,
don't know, he's like the invisible man down there.
I don't know how to fix that.
You got to turn the green screen off or something.
Yeah, there's like a green screen checkbox.
Getting ready to dive into the water, brother.
Yeah, you are. You're underwater. You got pretty good Bluetooth being underwater.
Hey, I think everybody's sharing good stuff. I used to, as a sales director, I always tell everybody, remember your first call of the day is going to be your worst. So every call you make, you're going to get better. Just just be calm and relaxed when you talk to people. Laura was right. I always tell everybody, people can sense, they're like dogs, man. They can sense a hungry salesperson. And if you push and push, they're going to shut the door on you. Yep. Just greet them. Like I think Chris was even saying to VAs, greet them as they're like friends, just, hey, and people want to talk about their houses. That's the easiest thing to get them talking. Tell me a little bit about your house. And you talk to them about their house. You talk to them about their family, their pets. All of a sudden, you got all the information you want.
Absolutely.
My dad used to say they get diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah. And that's a key question there, Michael, too, right? When you ask somebody, tell me a little bit about your house.
Yep.
That fills in, that's open-ended and that fills in all those questions you were going to ask anyway. So now you don't have to go, so how many bedrooms are there? How many bathrooms are there? Is it a two-story? Is it a ranch? You don't have to ask those questions. You just, as they're blah, 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 you're going down, you're writing down 2, 3, 7, 19, whatever. You're writing all your stuff there. Because they're going to share more than they normally would. Because then now, how many times do you ask the question, oh, so how many bedrooms does it have?
Right.
Well, let's see. There's 2 upstairs, and then they go, look, just tell me there's 4. I don't need to know there's 2 upstairs and 1 down in the back behind the kitchen and 1 in the basement next to Grandma Nellie's old sewing room. I don't need to know that. Just tell me there's 4. But when you ask them, tell me about the house, they'll tell you that stuff.
That's
so
right.
We got Mina on the call. Is it Mina? I apologize.
Open-ended questions can open the doors to success.
Absolutely.
He's saying.
So is that Ms. Melendez stepped away? Looks like
Mm-hmm.
Nick stepped away.
So what is it that Michael? What do you do?
I have a question. I'm I doing somewhat successful. I just bought a house for 40 grand on California, about 180,000 rehab. It'll be worth about 320. I think it came in as appraisal. So it would be a $50,000 profit. And then bought a buy and hold. And I'm getting all these from connections, relationships and all that. So I'm wanting to dive into using a VA or trying to find a dialer to work. I don't know that back end I've never done any marketing, and I've done 8-9 deals already. So
How do you get your deals?
Just through relationships. I mean, I get the deal on California Avenue. The guy sent me an email and just said, "Hey, would you be interested? Until tomorrow, I'll give it to you if you want it, as long as you're going to hit this price."
Nice.
And the numbers worked. So I get probably 15 deals a day, just an email.
You on everybody's email list.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If I can get one or two, I want to get to more than one a month. I got one that I just closed. We're working on the California project, and then the other project will start at the end of July. So I'm close to 2 in a month. Now I want to be able to say, okay, now I want to be comfortable enough to get 2 more while the other 2 are going. And that's really where I'm stuck as far as, Laura was saying, you all use the dialer and the SMS, and I keep listening to, I struggle with the IT part. So I every time I ask someone, I've asked a couple people and it's all about, hey, give me some money and I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, get that coaching.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? If I know the structure, I can do it. It's just, okay, where do I start? Once I know where I start, I was a sales director for a credit union. So once I know how to do it and how to be successful, it's a matter of just being on the phone. If I can get VAs to get on the phone, I've got 4 or 5 different VA companies I've talked to. But it's just, okay, where do I start? I've been doing skip tracing. I've probably got, 1,000, 1,200 account or prospect names, numbers, water disconnects, all different types of issues. And it's just, okay, now I've got them skip traced. Where do I go? How do I load them into a dialer, et cetera? I watched David Dodge's thing today. He was doing the calls. I don't know if anybody listened to that, but I'm just trying to figure out where I go. Okay, now I've got the skip trace. I paid for them. I don't want to waste them. Once you skip trace, you want to get on the phone and call them or shoot them emails.
Finna say, say the old school way. Pull out that phone and hand dial that puppy if we got to.
So, but then my problem is, then I put everything at the beginning. I put everything in my CMA or CM, whatever you call it, the management. So now I'm overloaded. It's too hard. I don't want to put them in there until they're actually prospects and leads, because if you could put everything on there, you've got 10,000 leads before you know it, and you don't know where you're at and who to follow up with. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. To be honest with you, Chris and Rich and Laura, is just a little bit of direction to say, okay, this is project.
So what is it you ran into when you said you talked to a couple of virtual assistant companies? What have you been running into?
I really just need direction. I mean, I kind of know a couple of different companies I want to go with, but okay, so once I hire them, how do I get them the leads? Some of them already pull leads through PropStream. So the leads that I have, okay, how do they get loaded in? How do I send them to the VAs? Those back door things I've never learned. I've learned a lot. I think I worked with you a little bit with Dave Dodge and them. Weren't you over there with, I thought you were over there with David Dodge and Bill and all them. Laura, were you over there at some point?
I mean, I have a working relationship with all them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never got that back end of it, and that's the part I need to get if I want to expand. I mean, sure, I can live a comfortable life doing 1 or 2, every quarter, but I don't want to just live a comfortable life. I want my wife to retire. I want us to be able to travel. I mean, I don't want to be a multimillionaire. I'm 50 some years old. I want the business to work for me. So that's where I need to find out, hey, where do I go from now? I got the leads, hire the VA. Most of the VAs don't have that. They're not telling me that information of this is what we need to start. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, so you got a couple of options. Some of these companies that you go through do provide everything you just said, all within that company, depending on which company you go with. As far as doing the lead generation, doing the calls, all of that stuff, depending on you doing it. So one way is to go through a company that's set up for that stuff, or two, the way I did it, I created my own infrastructure internally. I created all my own training videos internally for any virtual assistant that we hire. Created all our own systems pretty much, because you're going to have to create a system one way or the other. Either you're going to adopt one from some company or create your own, but it has to be addressed. The elephant in the room. You have to have some type of training, some type of systems in place for your VAs to use, dialers, all of that different type of stuff. Now, a lot of them, don't be mistaken. A lot of virtual assistants are smart enough to know how to do all of this stuff, to set it all up right now for you. I don't know where you've been looking to get your VAs and stuff from, like I said, but it just depends on which route you want to take.
Thanks.
Is that making sense, Laura?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
So it's more about what you want to do. It's more, but it has to be addressed. Somebody got to train them up. Somebody got to deal with them. Somebody got to put them on dollars. Somebody got to set up the systems. So, either you can, like I say, get a company to do it, or, internally do it yourself and just hire people yourself that, you can look on Fiverr or something like that and get people to say, hey, yeah, set up this system for me. Or, who knows how to do this? And it's really simple stuff. A lot of it seemed like it's a lot, maybe, for people that may not be, that high tech into it, but it's really not that hard. If it was difficult, it wouldn't survive in the marketplace, just being honest.
Yeah. And you don't, Chris, said he created training videos, that's easy to watch. If you don't feel tech savvy, write it down, write down everything, write down your step-by-step, if I get an XYZ lead, here's what I do. And write down step-by-step what you do. And all you got to do is type that up and have that in an email or Word document or something, PDF, and you're going to send it over to them and tell them this is what I want you to do. Because that's everything you would do.
It's John.
So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah. So which way you think you're going to take it, Michael?
Well, I think I'll probably find a company that actually has a structure already. I know there's a company right now that works with RealFlow that they're a little bit more, but they've already got trained. They get hired. They have benefits through that company. Rich, you're Fortune Builders, weren't you, at one time?
I went through their their weekend thing. I never was in their master or anything, but I'm semi-educated on them, I guess, but not full through.
Yeah, they have a guy that's he developed a company called Riva Real Estate VA, and they're trained on Podio, RealFlow, everything. And so basically it's just a matter of getting the phone system up. They actually keep track. They hire the people. They do all the training. They offer them benefits. Again, it's not the $2 an hour thing, but
yeah, it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
what's the cost.
Right. But yeah, like Rich say, at least start down, writing it down. What all I want them to do.
Right.
I want them to make calls. I want them to pull a list. I want them to do follow-up calls on people who we spoke to before. I want them to send text campaigns. I want them to do whatever. If you break all that down, say, I need all this done, and you show whatever company, can you do this stuff for me at a quality price that's not going to knock my head off, that get results? I want leads that's coming in ready to go. Can you handle it? If you want to go the company way. But
and when you're done, circle back around, and for each of those things that you said, here's what I want you to do. Now you say, here are the steps you do take to do it. If they don't already have it in place, if you decide, yeah, I am looking into this Riva, I don't know anything about them, I haven't even looked into them, and it's $100. It's $100 a week, way too much more than I want to spend. I'm going to go with somebody maybe it doesn't know as much or have everything in place. But okay, so here's here's the text campaign. I want you to do text campaigns, but here's the text I want you to send. I want you to send this text and word it or whatever a certain way. Here's the cold calling I want you to do. Here's the script I want you to follow or whatever, So be as detailed as you can with them on specific things, because trust me, I've been down that road. When I first hired a VA, they were a real estate VA, And I just assumed they knew exactly what I needed done. 3 months later, we were chasing each other around in circles.
Yeah, I prefer them to not have any real estate experience, me personally. I'd rather train them myself, and I know what I gave them was what I wanted them to do.
Yeah. And that's, looking back, yeah, that's what I would do. I would either pay more to get somebody that absolutely knows, but again, check, right? I mean, trust but verify. So I'm going to verify, do you know what you're doing? And here's what if we get a postcard returned, how are you going to follow up on that and convert that? Ask questions like that or whatever, but I wouldn't just assume you know what you're doing. And 3 weeks later, like, okay, how come I don't have any leads coming through? Oh, because all you've been doing is posting on Facebook for me. Great. Awesome. Thanks.
Well, I'm glad you did that. Some won't even do that. Cause see, I have
it did help.
yeah. Cause I got VAs doing postings on Craigslist, Facebook, OfferUp, all of these sites and doing all of this stuff for me, even building up an app for me right now. They're doing it. I don't know how to do that stuff. I don't care to know how to do it. I just need to pay somebody else to do the work. I ain't going to go do it. So why am I going to act like I am? Same thing you're saying, Michael.
Yeah.
You don't want to work in that stuff, especially when you don't know, all the technical savvy stuff and all this stuff. That stuff's work. I mean, some people like to do that. I let them do what they want to do. I just want the results.
Yeah.
Results speak louder than words, right?
So true. So true.
What are you working on down there, Nick? Nick got all the deals down there. He's been talking to so many sellers. Woo-wee. Your mute is on right now, though.
Buddy, you're on mute.
Nick getting all the deals from what I heard.
There you go. You're unmuted now, Nick.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, because I don't have you on my screen. I'd lost everybody. This last week I just been sending out yellow letters, and I've got a few people I talked to, but they were cold, so I was getting those through PropStream.
Okay.
People I sent to.
So you sent the yellow letter and they actually called you back?
Yep, 3 of them.
They call you back and say, don't mail me nothing else.
No, they said what? I just said to them, I said, hi, whatever their name was, and I said, do you have a house for sale? If you do, let me know. And here's my, call me at this number. Let's talk. 3 out of 18 it was.
So how did that conversation go?
They went, oh, well, we talked about it and said, one guy really wasn't never planning on it or anything, but the other two were, they said, that's interesting. How'd you ever find me? And I sort of gave them a little deal about how you go to the PropStream and say, here's what I want to do. And I just find stuff and the associates that I get a list from, and I go from there. I said, well, I'll tell you what, kind of getting close, but I'm not ready yet. And I said, okay. And I just made a note, I had my little script there, remember from last week? Went through and got everything, and I go, please, I'll get back with you. I'll send them a follow-up next week, in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you put them on a follow-up.
Yep.
There it is, man. That's it. You make a note, you hold on to it, but you got to take action. You got to you can flag it for follow-up all day, Nick. Make sure you do it.
Yes.
What you got, one of these?
It's going to pop up in 2 weeks to tell you. Put it in your phone. You got a smartphone?
Yes.
Put it in your calendar in your smartphone to pop up at 9 a.m. 2 weeks from now.
My high tech.
Hey, whatever makes you remember, but don't let it get lost through all those other pages of that note.
Well, that's why I had to get up, because I had my wrong one. I said, oh, I got to go get my other one.
So one of them said that he's looking to sell a little later, not yet. And those other two, they were just calling back to just do what?
The one called back. They weren't bad or mean or anything. They didn't throw them out. They just said, well, what do you got going and what's this about? And I said, well, I'm looking to buy a house and I just thought you might be interested. You got anything? Well, no, I don't, but thanks for checking. So
that sounds I never heard them call back for that. So you said your message to them was just, yeah, I'm looking to buy some houses.
And I got their name and number, and I said I'll send them another, like a text message somewhere, in like a month or so, and just keep in touch.
And say, because that's a lot of work for somebody just to call back a text and just pure curiosity. Usually they either call back to say, leave me alone. Yeah, I want to sell, but not right now. Or yeah, I want to sell. You know what I mean? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that seem weird?
It did, but you never know. You just keep at it, and one thing they'll call you up and say, yeah, let's do it. let's go.
And roll with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No,
Okay,
Papa
cool.
never
Cool.
did it. Never have anything happen. So you got to go.
Right. Usually they got to have some type of motivation, you know, to even pick up the phone and call somebody.
Yeah. I don't think they had real high ones, but at least it's somewhere I can follow up on, and you know, maybe 3 months from now, I said, remember those ones I was telling you about?
Uh-huh.
We got one done.
Dang.
So I'll let you know.
So somebody said on Facebook over here, Nick must have a heck of a script. I like that.
Who said-
You got a good script.
There you go. Working on it. Practice. Practice makes it.
And you got to remember, everybody stopped sending yellow letters.
Yeah.
Everybody stopped it. Everybody said, "Hey, it's overdone." People stopped doing that now for about a year. So I think it's right to catch people's attention again. But
It worked for me. I put them in a kind of a lime green envelope. So, you know, kind of, it's not like a white envelope or a window envelope or anything. It's a green envelope.
That's key. That's key. You gotta stand out. No matter what no matter what you're mailing, if you're a mailing person, you gotta stand out. I mean, it can't be
absolutely.
Yeah, it can't.
Yep.
Have you seen, I mean, there's companies out there that will like make stupid marks on your mailers. Like they will put like a coffee ring on the outside of the envelope, or they'll put it in the letter, like make it look like you set a cup of coffee on it. So it looks like it's actually a real, you know, somebody really.
No, I haven't seen that.
I don't know about that, but it stands out if they open it.
What the heck?
Yeah, if they open it.
Yeah.
Key to getting them to open it, you got to stand out to get them to open the letter. Isn't that the key?
Oh yeah,
The key isn't mailing out to people. Oh look, I mailed out to 500 people. That's great. How many? You know, what was your rate? You know, call rate. You know, the people contacted you. But in order to get that number up, you got to get them to open the dang thing.
Right, that's for sure.
You got to get them to look at your message. Well, if it's a postcard, that's easy. It's right there in front of you. But everybody gets postcards, whatever. So it's got to stand out. But if it's a letter, you got to get them open. I know a guy that literally he does all his mailings by hand, and he tapes 2 pennies on every letter he sends. So when you grab that, it's got a little weight to it, and if you rub your hand on it, you know there's some money in there or something's in there, so you open it up. I literally know somebody who does that. Like,
I remember when they had those little tiny red pencils, real skinny.
Mm.
You could feel the envelope, and it was stickers because it had a real tiny pencil in it.
That's smart. You got to stand out.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Say so 2 pennies give it a little weight, huh?
Right. Give it a little weight, and then you know. I mean, think about it. You got your stack of you're going through bills or whatever you're through mail, and all of a sudden you grab this one. You're like, what? And you feel it. There's something in there. There's something weird. What is this? Let me look into it. It's not 100% open.
So
Right?
I like that idea. My next question is, how many deals does he do?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think that's genius.
Right?
Well, if you use a
Will he give me
tagline,
more deals?
yeah, if you use it,
Who knows? I don't know.
you can use the tagline. Let me give you my 2 cents or whatever.
Exactly. And here's my 2 cents. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. You should let me buy your house. That's my 2 cents.
Here's my earnest money. I already sent 2 cents.
That's right.
I got sign right here. Everything else done. Sign
That's
and
great.
send back this self-addressed stamped envelope.
At the very bottom's a perforated agreement that's already been written up, and all they got to do is sign and tear it off and send it back to you.
They got their earnest money, 2 cents. Hey, one of the pennies fell off. No. Wow, so that's cool. We got people even watching on Twitch. They say, "Who is this?" Trust Tirock say, "Yeah, that's correct." We got Twitch. Say, I never even streamed on that before. Second time, right?
Look at that, buddy.
Yeah, it's for gamers, really. It's not really for this, but I'm just, I like to try stuff. A lot of people be afraid to try. I'll try almost anything. Almost keyword.
I'll almost try anything once.
I'll almost try almost anything almost once. Too many almostes.
That's right. No, that's cool, man. That's like with anything, right? Any kind of, especially in this business with real estate marketing, you test, right? You test your marketing. What works? Is text messaging working? Is calling working? Is texting this phrase working better than texting that phrase? that one word, you can make one word, you adjust. Testing's what it's all about. So why not, man? Twitch, huh?
Yeah, it's for gamers. It's really not for this though. Like I say, I didn't even know we could do it. You know, I just found out I can stream to 8 places at once. So
Dang, I gotta talk to you about your software setup.
oh yeah, we can get you in the game, hooked up.
Yeah. Right now, I can pick either YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten any deals? Anybody on here gotten deals from social media like that, or from anything social media?
I've got a couple. I've got a couple. It's I talk about sharing. Like if you go out to a yard sale site, that's where you should post that you want to buy a house. Don't post you want to buy a house on a real estate investor group site. I mean, you can, and if but if you're looking to wholesale a deal or assign a deal or maybe even buy creatively like Chris does, post out on a yard sale site. Don't post on a real estate investor site because you need Jane and John Doe to tell you they need to sell their house, not Jim, real estate investor. I've got a deal that's been passed through 7 wholesalers and here's the marked up price.
Mm-hmm.
So
All I've gotten on Facebook is I got some likes, and they're always from it's like a fake account, and it's a picture of a young, pretty girl, just a facial. And it's like they have no history or anything. I'm like, I'm not being a friend with that.
oh, Nick, come on now. Those hotties want to be your best friend, man.
Oh,
Come on,
I'm
Nick.
sure. They're not going to have no deal for me, though, I can tell you.
Right.
She got a deal for you, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Send
maybe,
that Send that Western Union wire to the Middle East somewhere.
That's right.
Sure.
You sure it wasn't somebody telling you you're the related to the prince of whatever and they got $2 million for you?
You are a distant cousin of the third Prince Abu Ghabangang.
Yes. You've got a huge inheritance from your 14,000th generation removed great uncle.
We just need your bank account number with the most amount of money in it.
Yeah.
So let's make this fun. Let's make this fun. I don't know if I've heard. I mean, obviously, if anybody's got any deals or something they want to share, whether they're on the Zoom call or they want to put it in the comments for any of the social media streams going out there, that's great. We want to hear about what kind of deals you got or you're looking for. But what about this? Let's look at this past week. What's the craziest thing you've seen or heard in your real estate business this last week? Anybody?
Anybody?
Mine's not crazy, but it's it reminded me of this group because I called a guy today who I've talked to before, and I called to follow up today, and I got a woman, and he died.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. So it just I was like, oh, I have to do the whole condolence thing and everything, which it all went fine. I was like, oh, this Rich always talks about this.
Yes.
But are you still selling? I know he died, but he still want to sell that house.
Oh, I sent, because she kind of got off the phone fast, and he did recently die, like Mother's Day.
Oh, wow.
And I still sent a follow-up text, sandwiched with condolences. I buy houses. Condolence on the front end. I'm still interested if anything ever changes. Condolence on the back end.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, I still want to solve a problem. The house was a problem when I talked to him before. I still want to solve the problem,
I'm
she
here
doesn't know me.
Yeah, I'm here to help in any way I can.
Yeah, and then I put it on follow up for like 8 full months, definitely in 8 months, calling him again. I don't want to be that person calling too soon, but
yeah, that's you're the ambulance chaser, or the obituary chaser.
yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, you're here to help in any way you can.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
yeah.
I am.
That is very true.
How I can help. That is
whether
my
it's
way.
the property itself, the contents of the property, those 7 vehicles you don't want,
That's right.
you need boots on the ground. I'm here. I know you're coming from out of town. I can help you with some things here locally.
Very
We're
true.
here to provide a service, not just buy a house. I want to help you out and get you not just what you want. I want to get you what you deserve.
I like that.
That's right.
Yeah, I would never say any of that.
I know that sounds too much.
Exactly.
It's like, wow, man. Ooh, let me wipe all this cheese
guys,
off my
he's
face.
being sarcastic. Don't do that.
Get my highwaiters.
Ah.
Oh man, I wonder if you can go to, and honestly, I've thought of this plenty of times, talking to people that reach out to like nursing home. I think I maybe mentioned somewhere you get calls, they go to nursing homes and say, hey, you've got people that need to sell their house so that the state can pay for nursing home care or whatever it is. So please think of me. But I wonder if you would, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's corny. Maybe they'll never do it because there's a great deal of respect and things that and care taken. But I wonder if you went to a funeral home and told them you'd like to, I don't know, not advertise on the back of the little pamphlets you get when you go to visitation, but on the back you put if you need to sell a house, we buy houses, and you tell them, look, you'll pay a flat fee for the next 1,000 they print to put your little thing on the back. I wonder. I'm just thinking.
Well, the company, usually the family pays for that though, right? The family pays
so
for
give them
those.
a discount.
We'll pay for your things or take a portion of your thing to save your money by putting it on the back of here. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Back of the hearse.
It comes from back in the day when people would, I used to help run a youth sports organization, and we oftentimes thought about, we never actually did it, but some of the local pizza companies would let you like print off a flyer and put it on the pizza boxes. If you pay X number of dollars, you can put a flyer on the pizza boxes. So that's another thing you could think about, especially nowadays that people are getting pizza freaking delivery like crazy.
I know that's right.
Robert, I wonder,
Robert Glenn over here on Facebook say, I'm going to start mentioning I have 8 ways I can help you with your home. Want to learn more?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want to hear, what's his name? What's the guy's name?
Robert Glenn Morrell Jr.
We want you, Robert, seriously, follow up with us. Tell us how that works for you. Seriously, I love it.
That's right. You got to do what you got to do. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. So
and they don't know what you can do for them.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Put yourself in the mindset of a seller, right? And you come at them wanting to buy their house. They probably don't even hear that phrase really first, right? They probably initially, the very first thing, unless you say, hey, I'm not a realtor, they probably think you're a real estate agent, and that you just want to list their house. They don't realize you want to solve a problem that they have right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And put yourself in the mindset of a seller. They don't know, and that's the thing. I mean, it's any industry, right? When you get into an industry and you learn the lingo, you learn the jargon, you learn how things go. It always goes in my mind like techie guys and people. I'm not knocking them, but they talk tech all the time, even to their end users. Like, think about if you've ever had to call a help desk of either a place you worked at or even maybe to get support for your computer or whatever. How many times they just start telling, well, you got this and this and all this jargon and you have no idea. It's like, look, I'm not a tech guy. I called you. You walked me through this. Think about the same thing. If you're real estate, you're just throwing around jargon. Like Chris says, he never says subject to, or he never says any of those words. You got to be able to talk so that they understand.
Exactly. The words make a difference. That's why I just tell them, we buy houses for cash in any condition, regardless of how much you owe.
Yeah.
Summarizes all of that. You don't have to wonder, what do you do? What do you mean? We're trying to buy that mud, man.
That's right.
Were you a real estate agent or something? You gonna list it? No, we're not looking to list it. I want to actually buy it. I mean, if you're looking to sell, it's up to you. I never put the pressure on them to be like, I'm a needy buyer. I really need to buy your house. I really, really need it. No. Even if I really do need to, they'll never know. Poker face, baby.
Hey, I actually thought of something that happened, and I almost lost it and got real pissed off with the seller because he made me mad, but I didn't, and it saved me. So here's a quick story. Went and looked at a property Sunday, went out of my way. It's Sunday morning, 30 minutes away, whatever. Going after this deal. I didn't even get home yet. He called me twice to lower the price. I mean, motivation like crazy. I told him, I said, let me get my numbers together. I'll get back with you. And I mean, I literally got home, made a salad, wasn't even done with my salad, and he texts me and he's like, don't need your offer. I sold it to somebody else, some guy that talked to before. And I was mad, because I'm like, and he'd made all these comments while I was looking at the property, and he was serious. He's like, this is so easy to fix, a girl could do it. He said that like 10 times about 10 different things. And I just wanted to just be a smart aleck so bad. And I ended up saying, wow, okay, thanks. Kind of like, I was a little bit, smart alecky, but I wanted to keep going on the, wasting my time, blah, blah. I didn't say anything. And followed up with him today. I was a little calmer and happier. He talked about some other properties somewhere else. I didn't care about him at the time, but I thought I'll ask. So I followed up with him, and he came back and he's like, hey, my other guy's not doing anything on this first one. Why don't you give me your offer? So I'll be able to make my offer. And that was probably the most interesting thing that's happened to me this week, because I almost snapped. Like, I wouldn't have done anything bad, nothing that bad, but.
Wow.
And the reason I thought of it is because Chris is talking, and I'm like, my rule of thumb is you always try, no matter what happens on the deal and the numbers, and no matter how they talk to you, always have them remember you as a friend. Because when you follow up with them, you want them to be like, oh, that girl's nice, oh, that girl didn't give me a hard time, or whatever. Always let it be on good terms every time. And I made myself do it once again, even though I wanted to smack talk. And I probably end up, I think I have a good shot of getting the deal, because this guy is like out of his mind motivated self. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the craziest thing happened to me this week.
Yeah, it can definitely happen. You want to be positive with him. I got a guy like that now. He accepted my offer verbally 2 weeks ago. Why he haven't signed a contract yet, I don't know. And he acting weird and stuff. Like, what the hell? You was highly motivated at first. Now you're like, oh, well, let me see, let me check what this.
Is he shopping it using your offer?
Nah, he didn't use my offer because can't nobody beat my offer.
Okay.
I come with the hammer. Ha!
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's saying, well, I got a guy that's offering me 80,000 and everybody else at 60.
Can't beat my offer. I'm solving the whole problem. He'd be out that house in a week if he stopped playing.
Oh, wow.
I think I even can get it sold quickly too to a tenant buyer. But
Nice.
Yeah, it happens. These people just, you got to still deal with them regardless, even though this guy's been gone for, like I say, 2 weeks. And I went to his house. That was all the way up in North County. I live in South County. I don't like going to somebody's house and doing all that. And even before I go to the house, I asked him, once we come to your house, you're ready to get some paperwork started so we can get this process going. Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah. Because I'm not going out there just to go. I'm not coming to see your house. I'm coming to actually buy your house. I ain't coming out there just to be looking.
That's absolutely right. And that's a big thing to use to overcome. When somebody says, well, I don't really want to give you a price. Why don't you just come out and look at my house, right? How many times have you heard that? Oh, just come out and look at it and you'll make me an offer. Well, no. We got to talk. And like you said, I don't come out to look at a house. I come out to buy a house. So yeah, are you ready? Come out there. Are you ready to sign paperwork if we can reach an agreement? Absolutely. And that's great.
Great. But he been playing for at least 2 weeks now. And I'm tired. I'm about tired of stretching it out. It ain't no reason to, because then that's the other thing. His house, payments don't even start on their house till September 1st. And so, because they got it deferred or something due to Corona. I don't know. Something going on with it, but he don't have to make payments till September. So I hope he's not calling himself waiting all the way up until that time.
Right.
I want to go ahead and get it now, and I'll start making payments on September 1st.
Right. That's right, man. That's right.
And get me some free months in between eating up my time right now.
Exactly.
But that happens.
Hey, Miss Melendez, how are you? How are you?
Good. I had so many phone calls that just attacked me. And then I'm the president of the board, of the HOA in my community. And this lady was just banging on my door, complaining, going off. So I was in a whole situation.
Oh, man.
All this happened in a short amount of time. I'm so crazy. Sorry. I missed most of it.
And you could not have a call all day. And then once you need to do something, right, you get hammered. That's how
it's only during Chris's lives. I can be on the phone anytime and nothing. I'm telling you, even when I talk to Chris, I'm not bothered. But as soon as he does a live that I try to catch, and then a million people call me.
They no lies for you. We're going to call and bang on your door.
But I'm located in San Antonio, Texas.
I'm
the only one in Texas from here.
Nice. Hey, I love San Antonio. Seriously, I've been there several times. I love it.
The food. Not the weather.
Yeah, true. Not this time of year. I like it in February.
When it's about 80.
Exactly. Sense. Oh, man. I could go for some papados.
I love papados. It's good. And tacos.
And it's the best don't know if you like shrimp cocktail. That's the best shrimp cocktail I've ever had in my life.
Never had it.
Wow. Life?
Been there, no.
In my life. That shrimp, you gotta hold it with two hands, man. You pick up the shrimp, you're like,
Like everything's bigger in Texas. even
that's
the
right. That's right.
portion.
That's right. That's awesome. How long have you born and raised in San Antonio?
No, I was actually born in St. Louis, and then I was raised in St. Robert. But at like 15 or something, I came to Texas. So I've been here about half my life.
Nice. You're involved in real estate investing?
Yes.
Nice. What do you do?
I was wholesaling with a company for 9 months, and then for the past 2 weeks, I've been working directly with a buyer, learning how to buy directly. It's an investor in San Antonio that's been doing it about 26 years and his partner for about 4 years. So I'm learning directly from them versus just wholesaling and just learning hands-on, like with the in buying of seller finance.
Nice. Well, is it going pretty well?
It is. I love it. I'm always on the go.
Oh, sweet.
Today I actually didn't have to leave for once.
Oh, nice.
It's hot. It's triple digits. It's like 105 or 6 or something. It's hot.
It's a dry heat.
I agree.
Dry. So that weather's similar to Las Vegas or something, I guess, huh?
Over there in the desert.
Yeah, they say it's triple digits. Yeah.
Literally a heat warnings.
Robert Morrell over here say I've been to St. Robert in 2000 and through 2002. Stationed at Fort Leonard Wood. Oh, I was stationed at Fort Leonard Wood too.
Yep. So
No
is my
kidding.
dad.
Fort Lost in the Woods.
Pretty much.
Because you are definitely lost in these woods. There's Nashira. She's joined in on here.
Did she?
Yeah, she just watching us. She said, "Hi, everyone.
She's probably at work or something.
Working on a good deal."
That's right. She's too busy. She's a busy gal.
Making that shmoney.
That's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So yeah.
I know.
So let's see. So we had some talking about what we say, text messaging at first, virtual assistants a little bit, setting up systems or something a little bit. Was there something else we kind of touched on?
Just obviously we talked about creative financing. I know John's super interested in that specifically. I know, and Michael, he really went deep diving in that river or whatever that is there. We don't even see his outline anymore.
He was sitting there at first like, I think I can do my camera like that. I don't want to do nothing to mess up the stream or something.
Right.
I push too many buttons, I'll mess it up.
Exactly.
And Bobby Blue, what market are you in? I didn't even ask you that. I've been wondering. I see you come in on the streams all the time.
I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
What part?
I'm in Stanford.
Stanford. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where I was up in Connecticut before, but loved it, man. There's a pizza up there. That brick oven pizza. I can't remember what the name of it is. Freaking amazing. I wish we had something like that around here. That is weird. I'm a fat guy, so when I talk about somebody's city, I talk about what kind of food I think of immediately, right? It's all gone. But I can't remember what the name of that brick oven pizza up there was. Man, that's amazing.
All you remember is the food.
I do.
I just moved up there 2 years
The
ago.
food everywhere you go. You're like, it's a good state if it has good food.
Yeah, I may stay a while if I can eat good.
We good to go if you can feed me. Feed me. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody got to eat sometime, right?
That's right. It was Papa something maybe. I don't know. It wasn't Papa Murphy's. For all you
Papa
see.
John's?
No.
Oh, that's not sushi.
No, it was a local place. They may have had like 1 or 2 restaurants, but yeah, no, it was a local place. Man, that's awesome.
I don't really like Papa Murphy's. You have to buy a frozen pizza and then cook
Right.
it. Like,
Right.
you might as well buy a frozen pizza from HEB.
That's work.
Yeah, what's the point?
You literally customize a frozen pizza and then you have to go home and do the work. So
It's like there's a comic I listen to occasionally. He's like talking about how expensive it is to go to a sushi restaurant. He's like, man, for $34.95, you throw this on the grill.
right. All that for raw food.
Right, exactly. Oh, that's funny stuff. But Yeah. So Bobby, what are you wanting to focus on? I know you said you were doing some text messaging, right?
Right.
What kind of deals do you focus on?
That's the thing. I'm just starting, so I'm like all over the place, trying to focus on one thing. Cause I'm trying to block out, because I hear different things and go, let me try that. And I'm chasing the shiny object. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right. But that's a lot of people do that, man. Seriously, a lot of people do. But is there anything that like piques your interest the most, or not just how are you getting your leads?
I brought some, and then through PropStream,
Okay.
I sourced some through PropStream.
Okay. Is there any specific maybe Chris? I think Chris used PropStream, right? Are there any specific leads he could like get a higher at least response rate? You think?
Well, majority of the time depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for wholesale deals, you got to have some type of equity. But the way I do it, I just need a person that want to sell. I don't care if there's equity in it or not. You want to sell, I want to buy. So it's more, depending on that thing. If you're looking for high equity deals or absentee owners and all that type of stuff, it's exactly that. But, like I say, I do expired listings and all of that. I don't care. If you wanted to sell before, you still might want to sell even though they failed. And we buy a lot from that. So,
Yeah. I've seen demos. I haven't used PropStream yet. I use RealFlow myself, but and it does the same thing, trying to get leads straight through the program itself. So using that, looking for that. What kind of filters are you using getting your leads, Bobby?
I used kind of high equity pre-foreclosure. That's what I've done so far.
So pre-foreclosure, how long of a time do they give you before their date normally in Connecticut there?
Well, in Connecticut, it's I think 6 months. I think it is. If I'm not mistaken.
You said
I just moved to Connecticut, so I'm still learning all the rules and stuff. I'm originally from New York, so
New York.
So I'm learning Connecticut.
Yeah, because that's the thing. When you're doing those pre-foreclosures, you don't want to be like, well, their auction date is tomorrow, and I'm calling them today. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? You want to have some kind of leeway in between that time, especially if you're talking about wholesaling it or something. Unless you're going to be the one to bring that loan current, pay those arrears up, pay those late attorney's fees, closing costs, and save the day with a cape on, if you want to stay in the deal and do something creative. But like I said, it depends. Are you doing more so wholesaling? Is that what you've been focusing on, or?
Yeah, trying to do the wholesaling thing.
So yeah, they gotta have that equity in there, or you ain't gonna be able to do it. Or another option would be if you can do a short sale, if you can get something set up to where they can stop the sale to do a short sale on it or something. But that's all more advanced stuff, but it is an option. When you start dealing with pre-foreclosures, there's a lot of moving parts. So you really want to know how that system works in your area that you're investing in.
Right, because I also been noticing where I'm at is closer to Greenwich, all the Ritchie parts of Connecticut, the $1 million houses. So I realized that I have to go a little further up in the state for the wholesale deals, because these houses, when you look at ARV, like millions of dollars and stuff like that.
So what's wrong? You can't wholesale $1 million house? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sure you can, but I don't think I have the experience to do that.
It's just numbers on a paper. Don't let it scare you. You mess around and get one of the best deals you ever got.
See, that's probably what it is too. I see the number, I'm like, oh no.
It's just black ink on white paper. Do not be afraid of it.
True. What are your average, just your average 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,200 square foot, whatever? What's that go for? Yeah.
Seen them from 500 to 700 to $1 million, depending on what city you in. Like I said, I'm in Greenwich, Old Greenwich, Cobb, where the rich folks live.
Okay.
So you saying I can't buy a house there for under $500,000?
No, Stanford you can, but
how do anybody make money investing in real estate in those type of markets?
It's hard.
Unless you get a house given to you.
Now, if you go further up where the state gets spread out, then you have those type of towns where you could go in and get stuff for 200 and 100 something thousand, because it's way up there, but that's 2-3 hours up.
Oh.
So that's the cheap houses. It's 200,000.
Yeah, that's cheap. This is closer to going towards New York City. So, like I said, granted, that's one of the richest places to live in the state. I mean, the country. So
So
that's
so
what
You
you're
gotta
dealing with.
spin big to profit big.
Yeah.
True.
yeah, I mean, but don't think that you can't get a deal because of the price of the house. That's just a number. You know what I'm saying? It's still math, and it's not like you paying the money anyway. You need a cash buyer that can bring that money, and if they know that's what the market is, and they looking to buy and spend that money, you could possibly still get a good deal. You know what I mean? If you know a house is worth $1 million and you can get it for 700,000, some cash buyer might come 750 for, and you made 50 G's right there. Boom, black ink on white paper. Don't worry about that number.
Yeah, I didn't think that way. I just thought of it like, not.
Do millionaires die?
Repeat that?
Do millionaires die?
No, they do, but their money keep going.
Do millionaires get divorced?
Of course, all day.
Millionaires got problems just like everybody else. And some people inherit those properties. They may have never wanted a house. They may have been gone for 5 or 6 generations. Like, I just want to get rid of it and cash it out. I don't want to keep dealing with this. And there you go. You came on. Yeah, we cash buyers. We buy cash and close fast, baby. Come on, sign right here.
Yep. We were talking to, actually this past week, I was talking with a guy that was on this call, and we met up and went and looked at a house, talked to the seller. And it was an old guy in his 80s who bought a bunch of properties to be able to hand down to his grandkids and his nieces and nephews. They all want nothing to do with them. They want nothing to do with that property. So he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm selling. They don't want anything to do with them. I'm selling them all. So he's got like 14 properties he's trying to sell. And, so it's just crazy. You never know, like Chris said.
Never assume anything. Be a good question asker.
Right.
Don't assume that they're going to.
And I attack them.
Yep. A warrior spirit. Pull out your spear and fearless. Because what's the worst thing that can happen?
Tell you
Might
no.
say no.
You've been told no before?
Yeah, let's talk numbers, right?
Yeah, they can't reach through the phone and choke you.
It's only worth what it's worth, and you can only offer what you can offer, and you can get a buyer. You've been working on a buyer's list and stuff there too, or what?
I brought buyers list, but I also through PropStream. So I don't know if any. I haven't qualified any of them, so I don't know if they're actual buyers or just kicking tires. I don't know. I have to do that.
Because deals are being done. Don't let them fool you. Deals are being done, whether you know about it or not.
Yep. Absolutely. And reach out to those buyers. You're building a buyer's list. Hopefully you're starting to build a relationship with your buyers as well.
Yeah, I have to put a system together. My system is all over the place.
Well, you're in the right place. 'Cause my middle name is System. If it ain't on a system, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, that's my problem. I know what to do. It's just the system. I start, and then I get shifted, and it's all over the place. And I'm like,
Yeah. And that's the thing. Get really good at talking on the phone to sellers and just having a regular conversation and asking your questions throughout the conversation. That's it. You ain't got to be scripty and say, I want to buy your house. Can I buy it now?
That's
Ain't
right.
gonna work. Be a person.
That's right. Say it over and over and over. And
Like Miss
so you get
N
it to work.
Miss N Akota down here.
Yes. Miss Shira, what's happening?
In Dakota.
What's
In the
going?
How are
Well,
you doing?
I'm good. I'm all over the place though.
Yeah.
I've been basically trying to raise private capital. I've been talking to some friends and family members because right now, the wholesaling, I ain't got a deal yet. So I'm trying to try and buy one myself with my own money.
Okay.
So I'm getting my capital in order, and basically I'm ready to go and get something like yesterday.
So you've raised some capital already?
Yeah. So I'm trying to find something now to buy.
What area you want to buy in? You got about 9 wholesalers on the screen here. I'm sure we got a deal for you.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the area. I've been looking like in the what was that? It was a Jennings area that I was looking in. So I mean, those houses look pretty good over there. I spoke with some. I don't even know if he's a wholesaler or whatever, but I saw something on Facebook that I reached out to someone about, and yeah, that was like 40K, and I'm like, okay, that's not what I want to pay. They said it's like already rented out. Um, but I wanted to get it for more creative. Like I don't want to give them 40 cash. I want to have capital where I can do any kind of repair. So I need to get it lower than that. Um, so yeah,
So
just like
basically,
even when I get it,
so basically, what I'm hearing is there's no shortage of money. There's a shortage of deals.
the right deals.
It's always been that way. That's why I asked that. Ain't no shortage on money.
Yeah.
It's just finding good deals. That's always going to be that's why wholesaling even exists. That people can't find good deals. There's always plenty of money sitting up in 401ks, dying, not making anything. Plenty of money sitting up in savings accounts, making less than 1%,
Exactly.
dying, when you can go make some real money. So I mean, I understand.
My goal is just to, at least have I want a couple properties. I want to either do the lease option, or I just want to rent it out. I don't even care at this point. I just want some cash flow.
Well, you should care because it does make a difference. Like I don't know if you was watching when I came on earlier.
Like tenants and caring for the property and all that kind of stuff. But my first one, yeah, I can do that. Just to get the experience, because I really don't even know much about like rehabbing it, and that is something that's kind of holding me back from buying too, because I don't know how to fix the property up. Where do I start?
Well, that's the best investment you can make is in yourself. Get this information, get this knowledge, because you can have an 800 credit score and $800,000 and lose all of it because you don't know what you're doing. Please don't do that. If you don't do nothing else, please don't do that. Really get the information and know what you're doing with this stuff. And that's why I was just saying.
That's why I don't make moves until I'm certain.
Right, and so that's why what I was just saying about when you was like, yeah, I want to get a lease option. Like I was telling I think that was John earlier when I was saying, don't go in the deal talking about I want to lease nothing. I want to buy the house. I want the deed.
Right.
Because you start going there talking about I want to lease. They're like, oh, lease. Oh, yeah, I can do that. No, I want all the benefits of home ownership. You don't get none of them. You only get quiet enjoyment if you're leasing it. So you don't want to be, buying it that way. You want to get the deed and sell it on the lease option and let them, do whatever they're going to do with the property. Because I don't do repairs on properties at all. I mean, it's really none. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying that it is not a time to do that, but to me, why would I do that? That's hard work and lifting. I just want to, like you just say, what you say you want to get? Cash flow. That's what I'm trying to get, that cash flow. So, just got to be smart about it. That's all. What area you say you do want to buy in now?
I was looking at Normandy.
Normandy? Oh, yeah, you can get them houses over there for like 20,000 or less, really, sometimes.
Yeah, that's how much I've been looking at them, and I'm just trying to get the ones with the least amount of repairs because I don't know how to do a rehab. I don't have no team, like that.
Well, what you just said right there, real estate is a team sport. You need to get a team, and I ain't talking about just for rehab. I'm talking about for whatever part of this business. You gotta have a dream team in place. Good real estate attorneys, good title company, good advisors, good contractors. Good people to reach out to, you got to have that stuff. You cannot play this game on your own. Like, I'm just going to figure it out. It's risky doing that. Very high risk.
Yeah, that's the reason it's good to network. That's what I've been doing. Just reaching out to people, and letting them know what I need and questions that I have. I met someone recently, did some work on my house. I got a project done in my house, a new patio. So I put them in my contacts. Like, I know you can do this. They installed some lighting outside of my house garage. They can do that. So I'm like building my team, that way. But it's kind of slow. So
Yeah. Have you been talking to
Okay.
sellers or actually just like middlemen, wholesalers, agents, and stuff like that? Have you been actually talking to real sellers?
Minimal sellers.
Because that's the best deal you're gonna
Yeah.
get. Whenever you got a wholesaler in the middle, gonna pay a little tax. You got a real estate agent in the middle,
Yep.
pay a little tax.
Yep. Yep.
They're gonna tax you.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like I was looking into just getting an REO property. You know, just
Yeah, what's
going
stopping you
down-
from that?
Nothing. It's just uncertainty, the process. You know, I'm trying to figure it all out.
You just make an offer and buy it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is your exit strategy on a property that you get?
The first thing I want to do is just rent it.
So you want to be a landlord?
I don't want to be. For time being, just for as a learning process.
I want to make sure you understand what you're saying. You know, that's who we buy most of our houses from, disgruntled landlords, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. John
Yeah.
here is a landlord. He can tell you more about being a landlord if you'll like it, love it, or whatever. You know, and everybody got their own thing. And you know, somebody new like you that's saying, I don't know about this, I wouldn't suggest them going in and try to be a landlord per se, because it's work, right, John?
Yes, sir. But look, I mean, because I manage the 4 homes that my wife and I have. I stay on top of them whenever an issue does come up. That's what I do. Dakota, you were talking about contractors. And how I look at it, because I mean, I've gone through various contractors until I found the one that I can depend on. It's kind of like when you try Oriental food, you're going to try different things until you find that Oriental dish that you like. It's kind of the same thing. But once you find a good contractor that you can depend on, that'll be part of your team. But you're going to go through various contractors until you get to the one that you actually like and keep.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, what about land? So you manage them yourself? You're self-managed, John? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So that's the thing. So that's why I'm saying for you, Nashira, if that's what you want to do, and you want to go work that and manage that, because like he's saying, he's managing it. Now you want cash flow or you want to go work? See, it's a choice. And that's why I say you got to make sure you know what you're getting into. When you say, yeah, I want to go manage a bunch of property, that's a job. I mean, it ain't no shortage about that.
I don't want to do a whole bunch.
Huh?
A whole bunch. Just
Well,
one.
Right, because I mean,
One.
I only do this so I can learn when I eventually get to the point where I want somebody else to manage it, and what it is, and when they start feeding me their, what they do and all that stuff, I want it to be similar to what I do, so that way I can distinguish whether they're going to be a good management company for me or not. So that's the reason why I'm going through this whole process on my own, just so I can understand better what it is I expect from that management company when it comes down to that time where I want to get away from managing it myself.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I do this.
Yeah. So you got a plan. See, that's the thing, so that's the whole thing. Just making sure, you know what you're getting into with this stuff, because it look good on the outside looking in till you get in and be like, oh my God, what have I signed up for?
Yeah.
Be like, what in the heck? Rich, you got some properties too that you manage and stuff too. How's your experience been?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to John's. I try to stay on top of them. When something goes wrong, I try to stay on top of it. But it is also just a learning thing, because I don't want to. You do hear nightmares of management companies and people that they'll take your money, but they don't pay you your rent and that kind of stuff. I mean, so I want to make sure, whenever the time comes, I find a reputable management company to take care of them for me. But right now, yeah, I'm managing myself too. So that's the thing. And you find a good management company that you're going to pay, right? Isn't that the old adage in real estate? You're going to pay. You're either paying in time or you're paying in money. So you can, if you want to put in the time to manage the rental yourself, you can pay it that way, or you can pay it by, hiring somebody to do it for you. So you get a little less of a cash flow, but you don't have the headache of having to manage it yourself. But then again, you got to find the right management company.
Yeah. So you can either pay to get the management, pay with your time to get your thing, or set it up on a creative structure and don't do none of that and just collect checks.
That's true. That's so true.
I can do it both.
Do what you gotta do. But yeah, that's the whole thing, getting a property and knowing what you want to do with it. Because it's a lot of options you can do with all of this stuff. Do you manage property too at
Yeah, I
all,
mean,
Laura, or you
it's
do
like-
do you do that too at all, Laura, or no?
I have rental property. I manage one of them on my own. The guy is just so incredible. It's close to home. It's no brainer. There's nothing to do hard. Well, we do repairs, but then my other ones that I have on the Missouri side, I have property management on them. And my personality is property management for everything. If the one wasn't so easy, I would put a manager on it. But like, remember, if you hire a property manager, you're going to pay, which I'll pay them all day long. It's so worth it to me when they're doing their job right. But a couple things. Sometimes you got to manage your managers. I'm kind of going through that right now. And then the other thing is, what was I going to say? Shoot. Oh, some people just like to have control. You don't have the control. You have to trust them. So it's like this balance of trust and also making sure that they're taking care of things the right way. It's a delicate dance, man. And I mean, like, I struggle with it. But I do know I do not want to manage my own rentals. That's my personality. It's all personality based, I think. So.
True. True that.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Laura. It's sometimes you got to pull in the leash and sometimes you got to give it slack. Because I'm like you, I don't like to micromanage, but if I have to, I will. But it's a give and take thing. I mean, you got to give them a little trust, but then when you see that trust is beginning to falter, then that's when you got to pull in the leash and then.
Yeah, that's been my experience exactly, and it's just it's its own little side job,
Yeah.
But when it comes time to evict or chase down rent, I know I'd rather chase down my property manager than the tenant. And they're going to be better at it than I am anyway. They've got all this experience. They kind of, just like I know how to talk to someone about a wholesale deal, they know how to talk to someone about rent, right? Or how to, work through things. They have systems in place that I don't have. So I think it's well worth the money, but at the same time, it's still your responsibility as the owner to make sure that your manager is doing what they're supposed to do. It's just because you've hired someone and you're paying them doesn't mean you don't go check up on your stuff. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Straight fire. So we got to find you a house.
Yeah, I need a house. I need to know what to do after I get the house too.
Well, you need to know what to do with the house before you get the house. You got to know that exit strategy that you want, as you're evaluating the deal,
I want to hold it.
Right.
I just want to put it in there. That's the first one.
Right, because then you got to screen that tenant and all that stuff too, right, John? What do you do for screening your tenants?
Well, yeah, this is what I do. It's not perfect science. Don't get me wrong. Now, I have them fill out an application, and then they pay for the application. So when I get the report back, most of the time it's a not recommended, right? I mean, but I do this also because I talk when I meet the people. I talk with them. I think I have a good. I think I can read people pretty well, and I can tell whether they're going to get either they're going to be a good tenant or they're going to give me or they're going to be a headache for me. And like for example, I was showing a house in Hazelwood to somebody, and she was looking at everything. She said, "Look at these spider webs and everything like that." And then I said to myself, I said, okay, this lady's going to give me a hard time, but I see already. She's already throwing her cards on the table, so I didn't take her. I just want somebody who I think is going to give me the best possibility of not giving me any kind of headache down the road. So even if some of those applications that come back as non-recommended, I've approved them to move in. And right now, I mean, they're there, and they don't give me a hard time at all.
What
I mean, once in a while, I have to track somebody down because they're late after the 5th. But other than that, I mean, after they pay the $50, I'm not gonna gripe about it.
Why do you think they wasn't not recommended when the application went through?
Well, it's usually because of a low credit score and some other factors. But other than that, you know, they're a lot of the people, they're upfront with me. They tell me about their credit history and stuff like that. And as long as they tell me that, and you know, that's not going to be something that I will hold them up for just because of a credit issue.
Right. Makes sense. You do something similar, Laura, to screen your tenants?
I don't screen my tenants. The tenant I manage, it's a condo, and he was moving out of one unit. It's a very special condo building. It's very different. But he was moving out of one unit because that owner was selling, and I needed a tenant for my unit. And a neighbor who loved him to death is like, "Will you rent yours to him?" So all I did to screen him was call up the other person he had just rented from, say, "You didn't have any issue." I mean, first of all, I saw his place. It was freaking immaculate. I was like, "Yes, please move in." But I called, I made sure to call the other person, say, "Look, we haven't had any rent problems or anything." She said, no, nothing at all. You know, it's been my exact experience with them. Like I said, I mean, I've been passing him in the hallway around there anyway, so I kind of knew about him. The neighbors loved him. So that's easy. Everybody else goes to property management. And I don't know. It's tricky. I think it's tricky because even the property managers get tripped up. I got one that I cannot keep a tenant in it to save our lives, and they seem to always screen fine. So I don't know what the trick is on that one. I think I need to make the property nicer, honestly. So.
And like you said there, I mean, that's another thing too. Look at where that person's living at now. Let me come see where you're living at now. You clean and good in here now, we probably can work with you. We don't know if you're going to pay right, but at least we know you ain't going to tear my stuff up.
Yeah.
I use TransUnion Smart Move to screen mine. It gives and I have the tenants obviously pay for it. It's like $40 for them, but they'll run like an online web coupon or whatever from time to time, so the tenants can save some money if they use the coupon. But it gives you, background check. It gives you criminal background check. It gives you eviction history, and it even gives you like an informal income validation. So like if they say they work at McDonald's, but they make $800,000 a year, it's going to flag it and say, wait a minute, we don't think a McDonald's worker's making $100,000 a year. But if they say, hey, I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm making $50,000 a year, it might flag it and say, we think they make a little more than that if they're a mechanical engineer or whatever. But it gives you a whole 360 degree report at the end. And it basically gives you a recommendation of approve, low approve, decline, and then my last one actually had kind of, I forget what it was. I think it was conditional. So basically it said, it's up to you.
Don't say I told you to do it.
Yeah, don't ask us. But when I have, bought into the sob story of somebody that was declined a couple times, and I let them in, and both times I got burned. Both times.
So you said that's called TransUnion what?
TransUnion Smart Move.
Do they allow you to put in customized questions or something like that, or no?
No, but you do get, you get the report. Like you'll get their credit report, you'll get their criminal background check, where literally like you click on it and it shows you a map of the U.S. and it'll highlight any states that they have like a criminal report. So you click on it and see what it was. Was it battery, or was it a traffic stop? Something like that. So you can check and see that.
Yeah, I'm looking for something similar to that, but I want to be able to do my custom questions as well, because I do those terms. So I got these, maybe 8 questions that I want to ask within that application process, all in the same bundle.
You could do that and then just add you could like do a web form with your questions, I guess. But yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I'm sorry, Akoda, let me ask you this, because since you're focusing in Normandy, do you plan on renting the Section 8?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how I could do that. Like, I don't know the process. I'm open to it. That's the questions that I have. I don't even know how to bring a property up to rent ready status. You
Well,
know, I don't even know that part.
Okay.
So
Well,
I want to know the details in how to get and, you know, obtain, you know, these properties to
Well-
get somebody. I ain't even got to the point to get somebody in there.
look, because I mean, look. I mean, because whenever you, I'm going to talk a little bit forward. Like once you get your contractors are done rehabbing the home, you're going to set up an inspection with the inspector for Normandy. They're going to come out, and then they're going to inspect the place. So they got their checklist as to what they're going to be looking for. Now, most of it, from my experience, you'll never pass the first inspection. If you do, you know, great. But then you get a follow-up inspection. So you'll have to fix everything that he or she finds wrong, and then you the follow-up inspection. And then they'll bless the house and say it's ready, it's move-in ready. If you pass the inspection with Normandy, you'll pass the inspection with Section 8 because they're not as stringent as the city inspector. Okay.
Okay.
And what you'll do is you'll publicize your home for rent on the Section 8 website. And I promise you, they'll come out of the woodwork looking for you.
Okay.
Because everybody got a voucher.
My advice to you is, and I've come across many people who are interested in renting a home from me because I only have that one house in Hazelwood at Section 8. They're going to lay that deposit down, wads of money in your face. And they're going to ask you not to run a credit of fill out the application. They're going to ask you, man, can we waive the application? Don't do it.
Okay.
Have them fill out that application because when they throw a wad of money in your face, they're pretty much telling you they got something to hide.
Okay.
Okay, just so you know.
Okay. That's good tips. Thanks.
So they slick out here, huh, John?
Man, I tell you, they don't bullshit over here, man.
It's like even when it's not like if it's not Section 8 and they say, "Oh man, I'll pay a whole year rent up front." People do that too. You know,
I don't know. That might be appealing. How much is that again?
Do that after they do the application, sure. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Nashira, you can actually go, and John, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I know over here in Illinois, a couple of the cities or towns, you can actually go to the code enforcement office and ask them for their inspection list. Like, so what are the things when you come through for an inspection? What are the things that you're going to look for? Yeah. So if you ask them ahead of time for the list, they'll give it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's already publicized on your website as well.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. I didn't know.
You're welcome.
And we've all been there, Shira. We've all remember those people that own rental property. They remember their first rental and what it was like to get it ready and what that experience was.
Oh yeah. It's a learning and experience.
Yeah.
It's because if you come up with whatever your bid is for whatever you see as needs to be repaired inside the home, once contractors get in there, I tell you, they find more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, because I've never had a bid come out exactly the way it is. It's always come out more, just so you know.
Okay.
I've been chasing a deal like my first deal for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, they gave me $20,000 down to move into the house. I need another one of them.
Yeah. Oh man,
Chris,
that's what you need to do, Nashira. Find one of those deals.
Chris, I got a question for you. I got a question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. For terms, is there a term that in regard to closing costs, which costs less than any other type of terms deal? Is there like a hierarchy? Okay, maybe subject to cost this much, and then lease option costs this much, as far as when you go to the attorney to actually close on it?
So when you're acquiring a property, if you're going to buy it, that title company or attorney that you're going through usually has a approximate amount they'll tell you. So usually anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 on average. I mean, I think the lowest I've ever did is like 9 something, and the most I've ever paid is like $1,500. So you know, give or take. When you're talking about getting the deed, not a lease. Whenever you're doing a lease, you don't have to put any money if you negotiate with your seller, because you know we can tell them, yeah, we don't put anything, you know, or any deposit or anything like that. You can structure that deal any way you want to with your seller. But when you're getting ready to sell it on the back end, that buyer pay all of that. They do whatever it is, you know, the lease option or whatever. They pay their own closing costs. We don't pay nothing.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yep. But yeah, I would say $1,000 to $1,500.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Michael Shear is on the call. What's going on? I'm loving that ceiling art there, buddy.
Michael Shear up in here.
I'm changing the baby at the moment.
I know, man. I'm with you. You better pay attention to that before we see something flying around.
Gonna get a squirt shot at you. Squirt.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah. Now, you need instructions? Like that part goes there. There's a leg. That's so funny.
But yeah, John, back to your question. How many houses could you buy for $1,500?
I can buy a few. I have some.
You see what I'm saying?
My self-directed IRA, so I can use that. And whenever I do go on the back end to sell it, it all comes into it. So
you basically being paid to take the house, depending on how you do it. And that's exactly how I try to do it every time, where I have no money in the deal, and all I do is pay me every month for work I did months ago, last year ago, whenever ago.
Okay.
Many as you can find. But some people go into these deals too, like we were talking about, talking about terms. Some people go in, yeah, I'll give you $5,000 down, and making all these wild offers. Like, no, don't be doing that. We usually buy with nothing down. You start at zero, and if they gotta have something down, we can talk that out. But never start with, I'm gonna come drop a big down payment on your lap. That's people like doing that, but I wouldn't suggest doing it.
Okay.
And do you think people gonna sell your house no money down?
No.
They will. I've done it about 7 times. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
So to think that they would not do it is not really true. It's just a myth. I'm not saying every deal will be like that, because I have put some, $2,000 or $3,000 down on the house or something like that several times. But that's,
I've had a seller pay me money to do a seller finance deal. They paid me money. I gave them my very first rental I bought, honestly, was a seller finance deal. And I said, oh, look, we can buy it for $12,000, or $13,000, spread that over 5 years. But it's going to need $6,000 in rehab. I need you to pay for that rehab. And then their response, I thought they'd say, no, screw it. And that's fine. I'd pay for the rehab. But their response was, I don't think I got $6,000. Would you take 3?
Hey.
That was golden, man. I was like, wow, right out of the gate, I got this one. So, but yeah, then that's the thing. You never know what a seller's going to say. You got to put it out there. I mean, I wasn't being disrespectful. I wasn't trying to steal their house. We ended up, later on, a cash out refinance. So whatever, but you never know. You make your offer, and I thought for sure they would shoot it down. I was like, there's no way they're going to take this deal. And
you just never know.
Yeah.
You got to let them tell you no. That's the thing. We can't be mind readers. We go in with a preconceived notion that, oh, they ain't going to do that. Or, oh, they wouldn't believe it. You don't know what nobody thinking. These people be ready to go a lot of times.
True. Hey, thanks, John. Thanks for coming.
All right, man. Hey, interesting wine collection you got back there, man.
Hey, thanks. This one right here, that one right here, I actually made myself when my son was born in 2002. So that's his label. That's his baby picture label on it and everything.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, the rest. When I used to travel, I would bring home a bottle of wine from whatever state I was in.
Okay.
In that state. So, but yeah, thanks. But we do this every 2 weeks, man. Come and join us.
I'll be here. I'll be back on the 28th.
Yeah, 28th.
Sure.
Sounds good, bud.
Hey, you got one to connect, John?
Hey, Akona, I can give you my number. We can talk offline whenever you want.
Yeah, how about everybody, if you before you drop off, drop your name, email, and if you feel comfortable, your cell phone number in the comments. That way everybody can pop into the comments and get everybody's info. That's what I like to do, just because you know, you go to any of these other RIA meetings and they hoard their member list and all that stuff. No, man, I'm about sharing. This is free. You don't believe we hold these free meetups like this. This is free. Everything about it's free. Even the contact information from everybody else that's on here. We're all about adding value to the real estate investing community.
That's what I'm talking about. You're doing a great job, Rich. You're bringing them together.
Chris, you are too, my friend. Heck yeah, man.
Hey, Chris, I'll look for that document you were talking about at the beginning of the telecast.
Yeah, it's in the Woke Real Estate Investing Group on Facebook. It's in the files section. Just go into the files section. You can download it as like a Word document, and you can edit it to make it say whatever you want. And you know, it basically gives you a template to give you some magic words to use on your seller.
Thank you very much, man.
Oh, no problem.
Look forward to talking with all of you in the future.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you. Check the chat before you leave, man. Check the chat. Get everybody's info.
There's a chat.
You can even do script print screen. Hey, tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what. I'll save this. I will gather everybody's info and I'll just email it to everybody that drops their stuff in there. How's that?
Cool.
So you don't have to worry about it right now. I'll email it out to everybody who's on the phone.
Fun.
Cool. Have a good night.
Thanks, John. Take
Bye.
care. Take care of those babies, buddy.
Peace. And that's how we do it. And
the
the crazy thing about it, John, he helped me sell my very first deal. I forgot about that. My very first deal, wholesale deal. Yeah, somebody who knows who bought my first deal I did up in Washington Park.
Man, that's awesome. Really? That's awesome.
My very first deal, locked up under contract for $7,200 and sold it for $9,500. So I made $1,800.
Nice,
In
man.
Washington Park, Illinois?
No. I'm sorry.
Goodness.
Walnut Park. I'm sorry. Walnut.
Oh, okay.
We do have a deal in
How
Washington.
is that deal going in?
We do have a deal in Washington Park right now, though.
Yeah, how's it going?
3 people say they want it, so they just want to go see it.
Perfect.
We're gonna
Nice
see how
work.
that go.
It's gonna get sold, man. At that price.
Yeah, it's low. That's good price.
Yeah.
Well, now what's up, Michael Shear up in here? What you working on?
Just got done with summer school, actually. So I've just been super busy outside of, actually stopped the ringless voicemail for a little bit there so I could get myself caught back up with not real life.
So wait a minute, real estate ain't real? Is that what you're saying? You making too many deals over there. That's what the problem is.
I got super busy and caught up with it, and I wasn't making my calls back. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, then I'm not really taking my business serious. But I did, in that real short amount of time, I got one lease option. We've talked about that pretty extensively, and Laura basically held my hand through a wholesale deal in Collinsville.
Hey.
That was a fun one. I think about those buyers all the time.
Man.
That was a good one.
That was stressful, and I don't even feel like I really did anything.
Man, I carried the emotional weight for you. I've been through it many times, so I know sometimes you just need someone there with you, and we got it done, and you did everything I ever asked you to do. So Rich Groves did my first one with me the exact same way. I basically sat there and freaked out while he did all the work. Not to say you freaked out, Michael. I'm not saying that, but that's what I did on my first one. I just sat there frozen looking at Rich the whole time, and he's like holding my hand. So that's what we do for each other. You'll do it for someone else. Yeah.
I'm definitely ready to get back into it, though.
You'll be a pro before you know it.
Because it's so much fun just like reaching back out to people and trying to go out to their houses, and I get a lot of energy from it. Just really going out and meeting people, even if you don't get the deal, because I don't know how many houses. I know Chris and everybody else here says the same thing. You go and see so many people in so many houses. You make the offer, and they're like, okay. You said what? Oh God, I wasn't really expecting that. Or I've had a lot of calls that I couldn't get like them to go and let me show the inside. So I just had to offer by pictures, which is horrible. But
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with virtual deals.
But I know what you're saying. Like if you're used to going, like some people are those touchy-feely people, right? They got to be there, they got to see it, they got to experience it. And if you can't, if you can't get a deal done doing that, you're not going to be able to do it virtually. But if you're the kind of person that can see pictures and just numbers are numbers, you're going to be fine at virtual.
Yeah, I mean, virtual, a lot of people ask me that too. Like, have the coronavirus messed up your messed up your business? And I'm like, not really, because I already was virtual. So it didn't make me no difference, either way. If they still want to sell, we want to buy, and we can make them figure out, Matter of fact.
And that's such an interesting like, I know we talk about COVID so often. For me, it really did slow me down quite a bit because of the decisions my wife wants me to make, and for the kids as well, which is right here. Going and seeing people face to face. She had like a lot of concerns with that, and I had to respect it.
Sure.
I would do it I was thinking to myself, if I was single, I'd just go and do it.
Yep.
But I have to respect that my partner in that. And that was the biggest reason why I did slow down everything, and kind of just stick with what I knew. And as far as that's why I did hard summer school, because I had no intention of doing summer school. I was just going to hit the ground running hard with the business and go out and do a lot more deals. And I think I would have, but with that preference, I guess you can go down that road too. If anybody, I don't know if anybody has ever had those kind of, I would say issue, but just reservations when they went into their business or started their business. Anybody else have something similar?
Yeah, I mean, as a female, I had friends and family members concerned that I was meeting strangers at their houses. And I mean, I remember one time I had my boyfriend meet me at a place to help me get in, and he was like losing. He was in Fountain Park, and he's like, "This is freaking ridiculous that you go in these places like this." So I actually compromised with him. I said, after that, he didn't I've been doing it for years, and I literally needed like a tool to get in. That's the only reason why he met me there. And he's like, "This is not worth it ever." And I'm like, "Well, it is to me." So then we just compromised. I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll only do these situations, not those situations." Anyway, long story short, I mean, I've been through it. And I've actually, for my own self, just to get better quality deals and things like that, I've started to really tell myself to stay out of certain neighborhoods and certain situations, because what I've learned is that oftentimes it's not worth it. Not because I'm getting hurt, but because I'm not making very much money.
Yeah, so, it's $1,000. Like, what is that? No.
Yeah, $1,000, and I had to crawl in through a broken, jaggedy window. It's like, I'm not, but just all kinds of stuff like that. So I've been through that in a way, although you can only let it affect your business so much, but COVID's a special case too. So we have to respect the people that we live with, in this business. So I understand.
Yeah.
Was that jagged edge window? Was that the Amelia deal you got done?
I don't remember Amelia. I remember the name. No, it was Fountain Park.
That was a nasty house in Cahokia.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It was terrible. Bad. I can't believe. And
that was real bad.
Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
Have you run across
that? Hey guys, I want to jump off. My battery's about to die. It's 8 o'clock. So.
Yeah, I was going to see if anybody had anything else they wanted to ask or share or talk. I mean, it seems like a good stopping point if you're all good with it.
Pretty good. You done hit almost 2 hours. That corona that slowed me down. I only bought 3 houses during the virus, so.
Dang, man.
I wish I could buy more. It slowed me down.
Right. Dang.
Come on now.
That's, I saw a cute, I don't know if I shared this before. If I did, I apologize, but I saw a really cool meme out there with this, there's like a video of a high school football player, I think and he says, anyway, the meme says, hopefully this is 2020. And it's a video of somebody interviewing a high school football player at the end of a game. And he goes, "I tell you, I thought they had us at halftime." It's like, hey, it's halftime of 2020. Let's have a strong second half.
Let's do it.
Right.
All right. Michael, Bobby Blue, Rich Grosloda, Michael Shear, Adela. Peace to the family. See you in 2 weeks.
We'll do this July 28th.
2 weeks.
Same time, same bat channel.
2 weeks.
I'm ready for 2 weeks. So I got a great credit story to tell you about.
What's that?
I got a great credit story to tell you all about it.
Oh, yeah?
So I'll do that because Chris's yesterday's video with Andy.
Oh, last night, yeah, the show we did with Andy, yeah, that was a good one, right?
Whew, I'll sit in my car, me and my wife going through Culver's, and we just like putting our ear to the phone. Might as well instead of watching.
I'll be trying to tell them we giving a game away each and every Monday night, 7 o'clock Central Time. All you got to do is show up, just like this. Every other Tuesday, we're right on here talking this real estate talk. So, for anybody that's, thinking about it, that's procrastinating, making excuses, don't do it. Get in the game, learn the game, pick some brains, and do your thing.
Right. So true. So true.
All right,
Thanks,
family.
everybody.
All right.
I'll
Good
talk
night.
to you later.
Peace.
I'll send out that email that was contacted.
Peace.
Thank you.
Peace. Peace in the Middle East. I'll be saying peace, 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 peace. That's how we do it, y'all. If y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share. Leave a smart alecky comment below, even if you're watching on a replay. Let me know what you thought about it. Did you learn some? Did you agree with some? Did you disagree with some? Let me know. Oh, yeah, you tagged somebody. Thanks, Robert. You was on the whole time, huh? He stuck with us the whole 2 hours. You should have came on in the live stream there, man. Come on in that Zoom next 2 weeks. So we'll be right back doing this thing once again 2 weeks from now. We're going to be on the 28th of July, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We do this every other week. It's a virtual meetup right here on the stream. We stream it here, but we do it on Zoom. I just share it out so that people can actually watch who may not want to get on Zoom and things like that. So hopefully you've learned something. Don't forget, I'll be going live once again on next Monday night. That's 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Guess who we on with? Flip Man. That's right. We're on with Ty, a.k.a. the Flip Man, talking about flipping contracts for profits. That's right. That's Monday, July 20th, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Hopefully you can join us for that. The following week after that, we're on with Miss Shymaine Robinson, also known as True Lawyer on Instagram. We're going to do some free real estate training on the 27th of July. How to invest in tax liens and tax deeds to make that money. That's how we're going to do it. And if you want to be notified of when we go live on these Monday nights, all you got to do is text JV to 31996. Text JV to 31996. And that'll get you that free joint venture agreement and get you on the notification for the Monday night live stream shows. If you haven't already, please go ahead and join the Woke Real Estate Investing Group on Facebook. It's a free group. Get you around like-minded individuals talking about subject to, talking about lease options, talking about seller financing, and so much more. Check it out, Woke Real Estate Investors on Facebook. And if you want to get contracts, cool gear, or coaching, because people ask all the time, where you get that hat at? WokeRealEstate.com. WokeRealEstate.com. That's the website for everything you'll ever need as far as real estate. So I'm about to get up out of here and do some more woke stuff. Follow me on all social media at Chris Monroe STL. That's Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, with over 200 free real estate videos on the YouTube channel at Chris Monroe STL. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. Peace.
And we have Mr. I Stay. Whoa, and Mr. I Stay.
Today's broadcast is being brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Local addresses with ease, with pricing as low as only 15 cents per match. Not per search, per match. If there's no number or email address, you don't pay. Get accurate data in just minutes. WokeSkipTracing.com. That's WokeSkipTracing.com.